want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
Welcome to my figure review of a dynamic action heroes. It is the Beast Kingdom Batman 1989, and yes, we have another 2022 version release of the Tim Burton classic, the Michael Keaton Batman, this time in 1/9 scale action figure form. And this is something that's brand new to me, because even though Beast Kingdom have been around for some time, I believe 10 years, this is the first figure I have picked up from this company. And of course, due to many reasons, firstly the scale doesn't quite fit into my collection. I like to have most of my figures in the same height, so I collect a lot of the SH Figure Arts, the Mayfex, the Mezcos, the Marvel Legends, the 1/12 scale basically. And since I heard about Beast Kingdom about a few years ago when they had the Batman v Superman line, I just wasn't really into the sculpt as well. But over the years, gradually, based on the promo photos and reviews I've seen, I think they've improved on their figures. So as you can see, it says 1/9 scale, so it's kind of in between, a lot smaller than Hot Toys, but also bigger than the usual 1/12 figures. And there is always an exception for me, because this is the classic 89 Batman, and you can never have enough of the Keaton Batman version, and I'm pretty sure companies will be making more of him in the future as he's coming back for the DC. And one of the main reasons I also wanted this figure is not only for this Batman, but they're also releasing the Jack Nicholson Joker, and not many companies have a version of him, maybe apart from Hot Toys and really the old Kenner figures. So that one is actually pretty interesting as well. So let's see what this figure brings me, and then maybe I'll go for the Joker one. And looking at this box, it kind of reminds me of a mini Hot Toys, the way they've packaged it. And the pricing, which I'll put in the description, is also actually pretty high on the line of the likes of Mezco. So you can see that it's got to be well presented. And at the front we have a shot of Batman all in black, apart from the logo, the yellow symbol of course that stands out. And it says D8H, which stands for Dynamic Action Heroes, and in fact has been the number 56 figure. So that's kind of surprising. I didn't know they made that many figures, at least in this line. And you can see the rest of the logos with the Beast Kingdom and DC as well in the corners. And then on the side, of course, as you've seen before, 1/9 scale action figure, Batman 1989 version. Has the Dynamic Action Heroes logo. And this is the official product, of course, and you can see the shot of Batman with different accessories. And again, we have a short description of the figure, and I like how they use like 4 different grapples with the wires to create the kind of lines for the text. And then at the bottom we also have the Beast Kingdom logo, and at the top we have the official movie version of the Batman logo, which is pretty nice. So yeah, let's open up this figure and take a look inside. So the way it slides open, you can see. And as I said, this was a shrunken down Hot Toys. They've even gone for a similar cover inside like it. So you can take that out. We also have the instruction manual to show you how to put on the accessories. And it's in 2 languages, Chinese as well as English. And before we take a look at the Batman figure, let's have a look at all the accessories also included inside its packaging. And as you can see, Beast Kingdom certainly haven't shied away with its accessories. And this is kind of standard for your modern day action figures nowadays, as you're going to have as many interchangeability and weapons for its characters. Otherwise your competitors will probably do more or do it better. So for Beast Kingdom, they've certainly included as much as they can, especially for this 89 Batman. And I know I said that it was very heavily inspired from Hot Toys. I don't want to use the word copy, because I know a lot of companies are doing it now. But when I took the accessories out of the box, you can see with the stand, the faceplates, the interchangeable hands, very much like the 1/6 scale company. And that's certainly not a bad thing. So here is the 89 Batman out of its packaging, my first Beast Kingdom figure in hand. When I took it out of the box, it did feel very much like a Mezco Hot Toys type of line, and it is what I expected, with the soft and hard plastic materials blended in. It's very much different to what I'm used to, of course, from the likes of SH Figure Arts and Mayfex figures, but I'm happy with its first look. I think it definitely resembles the Burtonverse Batman, obviously, with the suit, the logo, the utility belt. But in terms of the face cowl likeness, I would say it's around a 7 out of 10. There's definitely room for improvement, and I know for many companies they don't always have the perfect face sculpt. I think even for Hot Toys, when they first released their figures, they actually needed time to really improve on them. And at the moment, I would say the Hot Toys Keaton Batman is obviously still the best likeness, and I think the larger scale NECA one was also pretty good. So for Beast Kingdom, I think they've improved on their previous figures, but in terms of likeness, it still has room for, of course, to adjust. And I know that there's also an extra cowl as well as face plates, so I'm going to switch them around later on, and maybe that would improve on the look. So if we take a closer look at the rest of the figure, especially with the suit, you can see that they've used a very large cape, which does resemble the one we see in the movie. And one problem with the SH Figuarts one was the cape, but this one they seem to get it pretty spot on. I would say that the materials they used is very nice, and it does resemble what we see in the film, like a leather type of material, as you can see. And most importantly for me is the size of the cape. It can't be too short or too small, and I think this one is in the right size. And you can see for the cowl area, I think this is a problem. The ears are a bit bendy, and it does use a soft rubber material, thankfully, so you can actually place it back in the way it's meant to be, a more sharp and pointy type of ear. And as you can see with the extra cowl they've given us, it's actually meant to be straight. So this one out of the box has a slight curve on mine. And one other thing is obviously the logo. For the SH Figuarts one, there was a hole for you to punch it in and get it in place, but for this one it seems to do a kind of loose look. As you can see, it's floating on the chest, and again this might need a bit of time to push it in place and hold it there. It does use again like a soft type of material, so there is a way of bending it back in, but that is something they should have done better. And then for the chest area, they've used a hard plastic material as well as the utility belt. And for the center area, the diaper area as they call it, it is a soft material, as well as the legs. Surprisingly, they've given it that shiny look with the soft materials, and then the boots are hard plastic. And one thing I also noticed is for the arms, for the arm guards, it seems to be a separate piece because it is kind of movable, and again they've used like a soft type of material. So now we can test out the articulation, the movement of this figure, and of course we're going to start off with the head sculpt. And we all know for this 89 Keaton Batman suit, he was never able to turn left or right. He kind of had to twist his whole body to look side to side. And it's kind of the same case for this figure, or at least most of the Keaton Batman figures, because if you turn it left or right, it kind of detaches the cowl. So you can see it's one piece. So for him to turn left or right, up or down, it's not really possible. So the next movement is to obviously try out the arms. So first I'm going to move the cape to the side, and you can see that the arms go forwards, backwards, they rotate round and round, but you're gonna have to do it very carefully because you don't want to really break anything, especially as it's a new figure. You're gonna have a lot of stiff joints. And then for the bending of the arms, you can see it has a standard one, and you can see the rotation here. And then for the hands, obviously there's rotation as well. Slight hinge, although it does take off the hand quite easily. And then we can test out the body. So side to side, crunch forward slightly, upwards a little bit, not too much as you can see. The legs will kick forwards. It does have a soft material, so it will allow it, but make sure you don't do it too hard because it can actually break the material. So I would actually be very careful when doing the leg rotation, but you can see that you can kind of twist it, and then for the knees you can bend it quite far backwards, and you can stretch the legs, and again make sure you're doing it very carefully because you don't want to break any of these soft materials. And then for the boots, there's rotation, there's also swivel on the foot, and there's also a toe hinge. So in terms of the articulation movement, you could say it's standard, but it's not that flexible, maybe because I'm kind of holding back. We have the cape, which has bendy wires inside as well. So if you want to do that iconic pose where he opens up the cape in the rooftop scene, that is possible, and you don't really need any type of band, which we've seen before. So yeah, I'm actually impressed in the way they've done the cape because there is bendy wires inside. And as you can see, the joints do come off quite easily, maybe because the arm guards need to be pushed up. So yeah, you'll notice that certain parts like the hands and legs, they can fall off quite easily. You just gotta push up the materials a bit more, and then it should be fine. We can test out the different accessories, starting off with the other faceplates. So I'm gonna try it on the standard cowl first, and then we'll switch it up later on. So from the standard look, we then have the smirking look. And we also have a more serious look. And we also have the alternative cowl, which is the eyes looking to the side. And here it is next to the smirking look. As well as the serious face, and for me this is probably the best combination, especially at this angle. So now we can take a look at the rest of the accessories. So as well as the standard closed fist hands, it does include 4 extra sets of hands, and those can be all used to hold on to the rest of the weapons. So let's take a look at them one by one. So the first weapon is the batarang, which of course he used in the opening scene. And what I like about this one included is they have also the grappling hook, which is the string attached to it. So that is a nice bonus, which of course some of the other previous Batman figures never had. They have also included the arm extender, some smoke bombs with 3 included, some shurikens, which is also known as the batarangs, and for this there's also a total of 3 included, a bomb detonator, the grapple gun, as well as the gauntlet, which of course includes the articulation. And also another accessory which I wasn't sure on until I read the manual, and that was the Batmobile pager. And one other small detail I noticed on the grapple gun is it can be detached. And finally, here is the stand included, so it does have the symbol of the Batman logo, and of course we also have the title. And now let's do some size comparisons, starting off with the other 1989 Batman figure I have, and that is the Tomurashi Nations SH Figure Arts version. And when I'm doing the review of the Beast Kingdom, I never really noticed how big it is, but now compared to the SH Figure Arts, you can see it's almost like a giant. And I know for the SH Figure Arts version it was made a lot shorter than I wanted, but in comparison it does look very small. And here it is next to an even smaller figure with the classic Kenner 3.5 4-inch 89 Batman. And here it is next to some more Tomurashi Nations SH Figure Arts Batman figures, on the left with the Justice League version, and on the right the latest, the Batman version. And here it is next to some Medicom Mafex figures with the Justice League Batman and Bruce Wayne figures. And here it is next to some McFarlane toys with the Justice League Tactical Suit Batman and Batman from the Batman. And here it is next to the Mezco 112 Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Batman and the DC Collectibles DC Films Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Armored Batman. So now for my final thoughts of the Batman 1989 by Beast Kingdom. As my first figure from this line, I'm quite happy with it, as I believe it captures the look. They use some good materials on the cape. It has plenty of interchangeable faces, weapon accessories for all his iconic looks from the movie. So I'd say I'm pretty satisfied. Now, are there any improvements to be made? Of course, I feel that the cowl could be attached better to the suit overall, especially as the logo sticks out a bit. And there's also the arm guards. I feel that it didn't necessarily need a separate piece, as it does sometimes loosen up and it gets in the way in changing up the hands. Also for the articulation, I feel it could be better since some of the soft goods do limit it slightly. So overall, I do feel that the pros outweigh the cons. We have different facial expressions, although I do only prefer the side-eye look with this serious face. There's also plenty of his gadgets, the Batarang, which includes the rope. There's a nice stand to go with it, so it's a great standalone figure overall. And since it won't fit into my other DC collection, I do have the SH Figure Arts version for that. So this could be start of something new on a different display, and with the upcoming Joker figure, I'm definitely looking forward to that version now. And maybe in the future they could give us a Catwoman and Penguin, and I can build on the Burton verse with this Beast Kingdom line. And who knows, if Beast Kingdom keep improving, why not choose some of their DC lineup, especially if SH Figure Arts disappoint or Mezco keep delaying their figures. So my score would be a 7.5 out of 10. I think I have to take into account this is the first figure in the line for me, and it's not every day we get an 89 Keaton Batman, especially in the slightly smaller scale than the 1/6 size. So quality wise, I say it's better than the SH Figure Arts or NECA versions, and it will certainly provide competition to the upcoming Mezco version if they ever release it. If you enjoyed this video, you can like, comment and subscribe, and stay tuned for more figure reviews. In the meantime, you can check out my other recent Batman SH Figure Arts review if you haven't seen it already, and other figure related content. Thanks for watching and hope to see you next time.